All right, here we are, boys. Welcome to the 2024 edition of the Final Four interviews. I feel like we've done this for the last at least 5 or 6 years. I can't remember exactly when we started it, but it's something that I look forward to every year, whether I'm in it or not. I always like to get you guys together and see your faces and kind of talk to you kind of about the season and how it's been from your perspective. But it's an exciting time. We've got 14 guys in this league, and we've made it down to four. So we've got 2 weeks left, and it's an exciting setup. The four teams are deserving, and it's going to be exciting. We've got a champs versus chumps championship guaranteed. I think I've written it down here. I think I'm going to start calling round one the wild card weekend because it is anything can happen. Wild card. Um, and then this is basically becoming the divisional round the last few years, where it's been either Musty versus Taint or the champs versus chumps, in the final four to go to the championship. So kind of labeling it something along those lines sounds cool. But this is our 19th edition of it. That's crazy to say as well. Getting it close to 20. But 19th Final Four. So you guys are a part of history. And again, it's exciting. I appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to start with Ben, and then we'll get to Phil, and then Zach, and then Demo at the end. And again, I appreciate you guys being here. And Ben, this is your 11th playoff appearance. You've been in the league quite some time. I think you've been in there, except for 1 year, you've been in there every year. I think you might have taken our second year off, but 11th playoff appearance, and you're trying to reach your third championship. You made it in '08 and lost to Corf, and then you made it in 2013 and lost to Smitty. I can't
Vernon
remember
Dookie
which
game.
can't remember which one was Vernon Davis, but I know it was in there somewhere. um, this is your fourth Final Four. You beat Jay House in round one. Sorry, Jay House. You beat him in round one to make it here,
No
and
roomie love.
you're 19-9. You won the division, the Chumps division. That's your first ever division title, I think. Looking back, I was trying to find if you'd won another one, maybe one more, but just kind of new territory for you as far as that goes. Regular season, having a lot of success, winning a lot of games, and setting yourself up for this. Historically, you've got 6 playoff wins, counting this past week, and you got a tough matchup this week. You got Phil. You're 5-7 all time in games that matter, and we've talked about this. Games that matter are regular season and championship playoffs matchups. This is your first time playing Phil in the playoffs. You're coming in with 1,766 points. You're averaging 117.7 points per game per week. And this is the crazy stat. You're minus 33 points in differential. So you've been outscored all year by your opponent. Your points against are higher than your points scored. So getting here is quite a feat, in my opinion. So Ben, welcome to the Final Four, and just kind of talk to us about how it feels and kind of how you got here, man.
Yeah, it's definitely unfamiliar territory, that's for sure. I didn't even know I had been to four, to be honest. I do remember the Corf year and the Smitty Walls year with Vernon Dookie. But I've been pretty lucky with injuries. I had Chris Godwin go down, like, I don't know, he was like week 4 or 5, and he was like the number two receiver. And then made the trade with Derek for Kittle with Montgomery. That helped until obviously that was before Godwin went down. So uh heavily relying on running backs. Connor and Henry have carried me all year. My quarterbacks have been ass. Um
Wrong QB roughing.
uh gave Ted $5 for Kyler Murray, and that just not has not done he has not done anything. So hopefully he'll destroy the Panthers on Sunday.
Yeah, so all in on the Cardinals stack, man. You got a lot of Cardinals on that squad, and so as they go, you go. but it's gotten you here. It's gotten you this far. I don't think I could leave this interview without asking how your balls are.
They're good, man. The ultrasound came back somewhat clean, and I'm taking an old man probiotic that's helping. So if you've ever heard of floor stores for like 80-year-old men, but that's what I'm taking.
Okay. All right. I like it. I like it. We're trying to get it right. So that's all that matters. I like it. All right. So just as far as looking at your team this week, I know Cardinal stack, but what's your favorite matchup? I think if I had to guess, you kind of going all in on the Cardinals was because of their schedule down the stretch and just kind of seeing who they play. But just overall on your team, you know, what's your favorite matchup this week, and who do you like to kind of carry you to the championship?
Yeah, definitely like the Cardinals, the three Cardinals I have this weekend. I read today that Jalen Horn is giving up a ton of points to wide receiver, so I'm hoping that Marvin Harrison can definitely have a big game. I don't think he's made double digits the last three games, so I definitely need that with Garrett Wilson, because my running backs are pretty strong. Um, but I did make the move to get Jacobs from Smitty right before the trade deadline. I really wanted a receiver to replace Godwin, but I had to get a flex guy so that I could compete. Um, so yeah, but definitely the Panthers matchup is the one I'm looking at.
Okay. So I mean, how are you feeling? I mean, you feeling good about, your matchup with Phil? How do you feel about going into this week? Do you feel like you could get it done and make that push to the championship?
I mean, the projections look good. Derrick Henry scares me a little bit. Steelers has pretty strong defense. He only had 14 points against them last time. That could be a low scoring game. Um, I do have two Monday night players, which y'all know I love Monday night kickers.
Zen Ruffin on Monday night. Good Lord. Body in
Uh,
hand.
but yeah, and I saw Kittle. I think he had Miami on Sunday, so um, hoping he can do something since Njoku's hurt.
All right. Well, so if you're feeling good about it, all right, a little bit, projections look good. You're going in with some optimism. What would a trip to the championship mean to you?
Chang was right, man. Got to put it on the PowerPoint.
Dr.
Uh,
Chang.
nah, but yeah, I don't know. I've been to the championship twice and lost. One of them was terrible. I think I needed like two catches or something. So I definitely want to take the trophy home.
Okay. No doubt, man. No doubt. All right. Well, Phil is your opponent this week. He's just as steady as they come, man. I think he's made the playoffs every year except for one. We'll get to that in a minute. But you got to say one nice thing about him. It's all. I know you guys are enemies this week, and it's going to be a tough matchup. But you got to say one nice thing about him before we get into it.
Yeah, so Phil, I enjoy the camaraderie and the Musty Bet chat. I think we're probably the most active in that chat and talk NBA. And he informed me about the NC tax law, which pisses me off. And yeah, I just enjoy the camaraderie in the chat.
All right. I like it, man. I like it. All right. So any superstitions for I can't even pronounce your team name. Congestive epididymitis something.
Epididymitis, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any superstitions you have before like a Sunday kickoff? It's 12:30. Is there anything that you got to be doing before the games kind of finally kick off and get rolling?
Not really. I usually wear my Jordan Loves the jersey on Sundays. Cook on the grill Sunday nights usually. So, but nothing like too superstitious.
Nothing you got to do. I got you.
Nah.
Except for Zen because you're addicted. We all know it. All right. So what are you going to be eating on Sunday? Because that's been a big thing last few weeks is sending photos of kind of your pregame meal, man. What's it going to be this week and what's going to get you over the hump?
So actually Sunday night I'm gonna be in Nashville at a family Christmas party and they're doing Italian. So if you want me to put that in the chat, I can. It's gonna be lasagna.
Burnt lasagna it is. Phil, you've been put on notice. All right, man, that's awesome. Well, like I said, man, welcome back to the Final Four. It's been fun to watch you this year and making this run and kind of leading it throughout. You've been kind of up toward the top all year long. It's been fun to watch, and nothing but best of luck to you. Big House, J House, I see you guys are in the Zoom. If you guys got anything for Ben before we roll on, take a shot, man.
Yeah, I got a couple. Hey Ben, if you weren't able to win the championship, who out of the final four do you think deserves it most?
Deserves it?
Yeah, deserves it. Or who do you just want to win it?
I don't know, man. They're all four good teams.
You ain't got a lot, man. Just
No, if
who
I
do you
had to,
not win?
if I had to, no, if I had to pick one, it'd just be Phil because he hadn't won one yet. Demo and Zach already have rings, so
Fair
no,
enough.
no favoritism, but that's just I just like share the love, man. But I don't
Yeah, it makes
I
sense.
if I had to pick a best team, it would probably be Zach on paper.
Gotcha. All
Yeah,
right. On
come on. Easy, easy.
The reverse jinx is back.
Yeah. I thought Trip was already out of this shit, man. Come on now.
the flip side of that, who would you absolutely not want to win it?
Um, Damn, that's a tough question. Um, I don't know, man.
Mine were
That's
late.
hard.
Just toss it over here. Come on. I know you just say it. Come on.
I
That
mean,
was where Brandon Shanhouse is going with it. I mean, just
I don't.
it is what it is. Come on.
I would like to see somebody new get a ring. So Zach and Demo, I don't want them to win.
Oh.
If you're gonna ask the question,
Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. That's awesome. Jay House, you got anything for Ben?
Um, I think the only thing that matters now is what is the Zen to Toddy ratio to get you to win the championship.
dude, it's definitely flipped. It's kind of crazy. Um, yeah, since I've started doing that, like my toddy ratio is way down. Um,
Boy, it went from 20 to 17 or something.
probably 3-1 Zen toddy ratio.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I went from selling my team before Thanksgiving last year to buying everybody else this year. So let's flip the switch.
There you go. There you go. Getting it done.
Congrats, man.
Appreciate you.
All right. Well, if that's all we've got, we'll move on. Ben, again, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you joining. Hang out and ask these other guys that are in it with you some questions if you'd like. And just kind of and hear them say nice things about you. Phil's gonna have to dig deep here in a minute and find something nice to say. And so just feel free to hang around though. But again, good luck to you. And congratulations on getting this far.
Appreciate it. Good luck, guys. Those of you in the Final Four.
Good luck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So we're moving on to Phil. This is his 11th playoff appearance. This is his fourth Final Four. And 11th playoff appearance. I believe this is your 12th season. I look back, I was trying to find a year you didn't make it. I could only find one. I think you make the playoffs every year, which is quite impressive. You're coming in with a 16-12 record, fourth in the chumps this year. So maybe not the regular season that you would have loved to have, but you're in the playoffs nonetheless. You gave yourself a chance. Career-wise, you've got 5 playoff wins. You're coming in with 1,800 points scored and averaging 120 points per game. You beat Drumo in round 1, and you're second in differential. So you've only beaten your opponents by 58 points this year. So points against, you've had to deal with that just a little bit. So again, hats off to you having to kind of deal with some good matchups throughout the year and still finding a way to make it here. You're 7-5 versus Ben all time. So this is your 13th meeting with him. I think y'all played twice one year because of the division thing. That's how kind of that worked out. But this is your first playoff meeting with Ben. And yeah, again, becoming no stranger to this whole process. I feel like you've been here quite a bit the last 3-4 years, and that says a lot about how you've been able to kind of run your team since joining the league. And congrats on being here. How does it feel to be back? A year removed from a tough season, a tough ending to a season.
Oh, was it? Was it tough? No, it's good to be back. That was heartbreaking last year, but you dominated and deserved it. So happy to be back. Hoping to not run into Lamar again. But whatever happens, happens. So just happy to be back.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So soon to be father, how has that kind of played into this season? Has it added stress? Has it kind of changed your perspective on things? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I think it's been the opposite. I think I've uh gotten to use this even more as an outlet to not stress out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So everything right now is just this make believe fairy tale world, and then I know shit's gonna get real in like 6 months. So I'm just trying to soak this last couple months up, and then a whole another exciting journey. So yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, congratulations again on that as well. And
thank
uh,
you.
so just kind of take us through your year, man. Start to finish, how do you feel about everything, and kind of what got you here? What any moves or decisions, things that you've done throughout the year that you feel like kind of made you turn the corner and got you to where you're at?
Yeah, very weird year. First 4 weeks I was like in first place in the Chumps division, and then Rashi Rice got hurt, Rashid Shaheed got hurt. Taylor missed a few weeks, Neighbors missed a couple weeks, Puka was out. Once Puka was out, I was like, or once Rashi was out, I was like, I gotta make a move because my Mahomes Rashi stack was kind of fucked. So um Tony was a good trade partner. Thought that was a pretty even trade because he got Puka, which is tough to let go of. And I got Bajan, who's been good, and then Mahomes Purdy was like kind of like a coin flip. So um, that was big, but I did go through the gauntlet where I went 1-9 the next 5 weeks. Couple like brutal losses. So I was sitting at 7-11 with like a 20% chance to make the playoffs. And then my next 5 weeks, I was playing 4 playoff guys. Like it was Trip, Zach, Ben, Drumo, who else? Uh, Ben, oh, Demo. I had to play Demo too. So it was just a gauntlet to end the season, but
Yeah.
ended up like 11-1 over the next 6 weeks. So coming in hot, team is getting to the point where I want it to be, but I still have no idea because like Purdy goes and drops 3 points on Thursday night. So it's still a little shaky, but we made it.
That's it. We made it. You got it. You got it done. You got it here. So looking at your team as far as this week matchups, things you like. I know we just went through a waiver period. I didn't see if you made a move or not. But as far as your team, is there a matchup this week that you feel like is kind of, I'm not gonna say make or break because last week you made it through with 3-5, so it can't make or break you. But is there a matchup that you're kind of leaning on this week to get you over the hump?
Yeah, not like one in particular. It's more I just need consistency. I Purdy can't fuck up again against Ben.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen. He's got Kittle though, so that kind of cancels that out. But I think the Bijan versus Malik Neighbors game could be the deciding factor. Maybe could be a shootout, but we'll see because Penix is the quarterback. So who knows? It's Penix and who's the Giants quarterback?
Yeah, exactly.
Fort Stringer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, I know you're no stranger to the championship game. You made it there last year. Um, what would a trip back to back years mean to you? Like just kind of just getting over the hump and getting back there again for the second straight year. What would that mean to you?
It'd be awesome. Um, Ben's a worthy competitor. He's projected the highest points this week, so not even overlooking the next game, but
if that happens, I'd be super pumped to play either one of Demo or Zach, former champs. So it's a win-win.
Okay. Awesome, man. Awesome. I've seen this story before, Phil. I've seen it happen. So good luck to you though, no doubt. All right. So you talked about Ben and his team and how he's projected so many points and he's your enemy this week. But you got to find one nice thing to say about him. So go ahead and compliment this man.
Yeah, it's similar. I got a Christmas card from Ben the other day. The Ruffin family. It says he wrote a little "Go Joker" note on it. Shout out to the Nugs. Let's go Nugs. So I really appreciated that. We have that basketball camaraderie, the NBA. I'm very slow on NBA until after fantasy football. About January, I'll kick back up with the Nugs. So I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up.
No doubt. Ben's on that. He's been on it since preseason NBA, boy.
Yeah, you know I'm already
Season
on them prop.
starts Christmas Day for me, pretty much.
I'm already on them prop bets, man.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. So any superstitions do you have like throughout this season? Is there anything that you've kind of been consistent with? Like, I got to do this, or I feel like I might lose this week. Is there something that you do, as a superstition before the games kick off?
Yeah, we've gone out to breakfast like the last couple of months. So I think it's the food. I think it's that Sunday morning picture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got to get that belly right.
that's it. Yeah.
Got to get that belly right. All right. Well, speaking of food, what will you be eating this Sunday in order to get the dub?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you even had that question because I would have probably forgot because we're going to be in Norfolk. We fly to Norfolk on Saturday. So like my sister and her family's driving up from Florida, so there's going to be a lot of people in that house. So I need to like go out and grab breakfast for everybody, or me and Annika could sneak away to breakfast. I have to figure that out, but it's critical.
It is.
Maybe even a Bojangles run since I'll be back in Bojangles country. I
Oh
don't know.
man, it could be the key. The signs.
Yeah, dude, I miss Bojangles here. There's nothing that compares. But I don't know. The shit we've been eating's been working, so gotta find something.
Get it to go box. I don't. Whatever it takes. Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. How's the new job going?
It's good. I mean, it's I've been onboarding for the past 3 weeks, so it ain't shit yet. Plus it's the holidays, so
Yeah.
yeah, no complaints.
Okay. Well, good deal, man. Well, that's all I've got for you on my end. Congrats again. I'm gonna turn it over to Big House and J House if they've got anything for you. But again, congrats on getting back to the Final Four, man.
Thanks, Commish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
congrats,
anything?
man. I'll start this one off and let Brendan finish it up if he's got any questions. But you've traveled all over the states, all over the world. What destination are you going to travel to with the proceeds if you were to win a ring this year?
So
If any.
we already have a baby moon planned. It's an anniversary baby moon trip to Cabo in January, which is right after the ship week. So maybe that could just contribute to the absurd amount of money we've already spent towards that. So that'll help and make
There
us
you
feel
go.
better about it. But yeah, we're going to Cabo third week of January.
That's awesome. I'm jealous.
A little walking around money.
What is yeah, I don't even want
falling down the hill money, right,
It's-
Commish?
It's no Disney. It's no Disney over there. Come on now.
No, you don't want it to be Disney. That's the point.
We'll definitely do Disney in the future with the
Yeah.
little one. I was gonna poll y'all on what the best age is to take little ones, but
I am not the person to ask that.
just
It's
always
zero to
yes, yeah.
69. Any age. In Fun for all.
All right. Yeah, that's all I had. Congrats.
Thank you.
Big House, you got
Uh,
anything?
Yeah, I got a few. So, Phil, I see your team space. Thank you for the support. It's great. So a a couple of things. One, this is really actually a question just for me. So you do travel a lot. Where on the west coast outside of California, what's kind of the coolest spot you've been to that you recommend for people that's maybe not so well known?
People meaning like families or people like
It doesn't have to be
Like
for
Las
little
Vegas.
kids. Like just say like is me and Lee are trying to get away for a cool spot.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming, probably.
Ah, I like that a lot. That lines up with what. Okay, cool.
Super cool. Go to the Grand Tetons, go to Yellowstone, it's right there. Yeah.
Like that answer. Okay, second or third,
I love
whatever
Big
number
House.
I'm on. What?
I said I love Big House.
I got a lot of texts through the year this year about trades and whatnot. Zach, yeah, I'm looking at you. You're one of them. But I did not get any from you, Phil. So what's the deal? I have to know. Was my team that bad this year, or what was going on?
Let me take a look at your squad. Probably.
You didn't even look at my squad. Come on.
Yeah, no. Yeah, your team was ass.
Nah, nah.
All right. No, seriously though, good job. Appreciate it. Nice team again. Seems like every year you are here. I feel like you're always on this call for the Final Four, so not surprised. But congrats and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. If that's
Sounds like
it.
Big House has a trip to Wyoming coming up.
Planet.
think you already had that planned based off the reaction.
Great answer, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That's a great answer. You hear that, Leah? You said Jacksonville, Wyoming, too.
That was the bottom of her list.
Basically, yeah.
I told
Big-
you it was awesome.
Big House, I just want to know how hard it is to text no when somebody sends you a trade offer. Just say no.
Dog, don't get me started.
You got to consider it, man. You got to
Oh,
consider it.
Yeah.
You,
Like just
2
oh,
weeks.
killing me over here.
There are some I said
Ted
no
sent me
right
about
away
3
to,
trades this
but-
year without any text. Just I would wake up to a trade offer in my inbox. No conversations at all.
Big House actually
No
agreed to a trade
context.
with Big House accepted a trade with me, and then literally 10 minutes later of just being a ghost, he just second thoughts. Never mind.
Yeah, I told you though.
Happens.
Yeah, I had to drag it out of you.
What? Like through the workday? Like what? Less than an hour later? That's not dragging it out of me.
Yeah, it was definitely dragging it out.
All right.
Okay.
Zach, your time's coming. Speaking of Zach, all right, we're gonna move on to our next matchup, which is Zach and Demo. Zach will go first. This is Zach's 13th playoff appearance. He does have a championship. Both these guys do have one. He's coming in with a 15-13 record. He's 4th in the champs division this year. So again, along the lines of Phil, maybe not the regular season you wanted, but I felt you came on strong toward the end, made the playoff push, and got in there. So shocking stat with Demo. You were 3-7 all time versus Demo, and 0-1 in the playoffs, and that was 2020.
Sheesh. That's
Yeah,
rough.
2021 when you guys matched up in the playoffs, and I believe that was the year Demo got it done. This is your 7th Final Four. You're going for your 4th championship appearance, and you beat Tripp in round 1, which is quite the feat. I think everybody, if you took a poll before the playoffs, Tripp was the heavy favorite, based on just kind of what his team was looking like and that build that he was able to do. So congrats on that. You're coming in you've got 11 playoff wins counting last week. You're coming in with 1,809 points and you're averaging 120.6. So that's the highest average per game out of the 4 guys in the Final Four. And your points differential is plus 154. So again, none of you guys are really like killing it as far as the point differential. So your points against are all you've had the tough schedules, is basically what that means. And you've had to kind of play good matchups throughout the year and sneak through with some wins to get here. But Zach, congratulations on getting back here.
Appreciate it.
It's, last year was tough for you, but getting back in this atmosphere, I think is kind of where you belong, and making a run for it year in and year out. So yeah, walk us through your season a little bit, and let us know kind of how you've built this team and gotten to where you're at.
Yeah, honestly, very similar to Phil. Battled a lot of injuries between Nico, IR, AJ Brown, Ayuk, Higgins, even after that freaking trade with you. But no, it was just a battle. Came into the draft with the most money. I had Ayuk, Nico, Jaden. It went south on me really fast in that draft. Honestly, I left there. I I left draft weekend early. I shouldn't say early. I was planning to stay the night, and I left because I was so upset with my draft. Like, I felt terrible. Like, I was expecting to have such a good team, and I walked out feeling like shit, quite frankly. Like, it was not the roster I wanted to put together. I called Ted on the way
Let it
home.
get away from you.
Let it get away from me. I remember calling Ted on my way home, and I was just like, like, fuck, man, I overpaid for AJ Brown. I thought I didn't want to overspend for a position. I really like to have a balanced approach. And I ended up feeling like I overspent on receiver. It just derailed my whole plan. Like, I got the draft went sideways. I spent $31 on Zamir White. I mean, think about that. Think about that for a split second. $31 on Zamir White. But started out slow, projected like 13th in the standings. It was terrible. Like I said, Nico went to the IR. AJ Brown got hurt, was out for like 3 weeks. Ayuk to the IR. But then made some trades. So I traded Goff for Eckler, something small. Then I went for Nico went down. I traded with Tony, traded him Nico, kind of giving away my future for a win now, and took CeeDee Lamb, which helped, but it's kind of a Band-Aid on my team, I'd say. And then, just kind of came knocking with you. AJ Brown, you were really interested in him, and I just needed depth and pieces, and traded him and Eckler for, Pollard, JSN, and Higgins, which is honestly kind of where things started to kind of take off, even though Higgins didn't play for like 3 weeks. And then the last trade I made was with J House, actually, with Brian Thomas Jr., which I played him that week, and he did nothing because it was more so a future play than it was in a depth piece at the time. And I've only played him 1 week. I'm planning to start him this week, but I've only played him once, and it was that week, and he wasn't very good. So it's just been weird. I honestly, like, this season, I joke about in the chat, I was $1 away from selling at the deadline. I hit accept with Derek on that trade like last second with Trey McBride. I showed the screenshot of it. I was selling my team, and it was over $1. If he had done the dollar earlier, like, I'm not here. I'm not in this, and I'm on to next year. So really, I was in a bind. I was actually trying to buy too. I tried to get Breece Hall from Ted, obviously with Big House and the text. I was trying to make a move for Kenneth Walker and add a RB, and yeah, it's been a wild year. I know Ben said he feels like my team's the favorite. I don't. I squeaked into the playoffs. My receivers really got hot down the deadline, or down the stretch. I got like 5 good ones, even though Judy's kind of derailed with DTJ now, but or DT, whatever you want to hell his name is. It doesn't matter. It's not Jameis. But no, I mean, I don't feel
Nobody's Jameis.
Not
Yeah, I
Tim
don't feel
Boyle
great.
either.
Yeah, Tim Boyle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm the favorite by any means. I think Ben's got a loaded team. I think Phil's got a loaded team still. But yeah, just kind of piece this thing together. It's just kind of the way it is. I don't usually have great drafts, I'd say. I think it's more so in-season management that kind of helps me kind of stay in it and then propel me hopefully towards the deadline. But again, I was actually trying to sell at the deadline, so it just kind of like some players worked out for me, getting hot at the right times in some situations, kind of running its course.
Yeah, always good insight from you. I feel like you walk us through and paint that picture for us of your season. Yeah, I mean, but again, the little things and all the things that happen throughout the course of a season, the injuries and the reactions that we have, it all comes full circle. And for you to be back here, it's pretty special. It's got to feel good, especially like you said with selling at the deadline or wanting to seeing Tripp kind of go big and look like the favorite. I think at that point everybody kind of had their like, oh man, I got to go get some money and just kind of get ready for next year.
That's
but-
what it was, honestly. Seeing all the trades, I was going to be a buyer, and then seeing 7, 8 trades, I was texting Derek on the side because when we were trying to do this McBride thing, I was like, man, like I was going to buy, and I just feel like it's a waste of my money to even try to buy at this point. All these teams just got super teams. So I was going to sell. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. Where are they now? All right. So looking at your squad, matchups, who do you feel like this week, or what's your favorite matchup, or what do you feel like the kind of a key matchup is for you? You're expecting big things out of in order to put a bunch of points up this week.
Yeah, I was looking at it's got to be Trey McBride. I feel like this is the week. I feel like it's every week he's going to score finally. But a little bit of maybe comfort with Kyler coming out and just vocalizing it in a tweet, like basically saying my guy's he's gonna score, I promise. So Panthers, it's got to be a good time for that. So I feel good about that. And then it's not a good matchup per se. So I wouldn't say this is like a favorite matchup, but having Jaden, albeit versus the Eagles, I think he's the great neutralizer to Terry McLaurin for Demo. So if McLaurin goes off, it's because Jaden's also doing well. So that in itself, I feel, is a good matchup, almost as somewhat of a block to McLaurin's upside. Well, not his upside, but like it kind of neutralizes that value.
Okay, absolutely, and he can run. All right, a trip back to the championship game. 2 years ago, you were in this spot and got it done, finished it off, won the trophy. How would it feel to get back there just a year or two later and put yourself in position for another one?
I love to win. I love to win. I've only won one of these, but in general, I love to be the best. So being back into the championship, it means you're at the seat, you're at the table, and you're at the top two. So all eyes on you and whoever you're facing at that point. So it would mean a lot. I you know me, Jason. I live and die in the Google Sheets that you create, the Google Doc. Like I love looking at the historical data and everything you already spatted out at the beginning. I know all this data. I've already looked at it. I've looked at everybody's stuff. So it's just continuing to stack up some of the historical data and making my case for my my yellow jacket, gold jacket, green jacket, whatever you want to call it. And Canton somewhere or wherever it's at, Comishi's house at some point.
Yeah, I'll have a shrine at one point. So I got to build a big old house, and I'll have a room dedicated to the Musty Taint with all the goats and legends. All right. Well, this is the part that I know might be tough for you, Zach. But you've got to say one nice thing about Demo.
Yeah,
You've had your bouts the last couple of weeks. It's been fun to watch. It's been entertaining for sure. I swear, Group Me is just like First Take. I love it. It just every time something happens, you just tune in and what's so and so gonna say about this, man. So I love it. But anyway, dig deep right here and find something nice to say about your opponent, Demo.
No, that's easy. That's my throwing partner. No, aside from the the management thing, like which I still disagree with. He always puts competitive teams up there, which I respect. He's always in the thick of it. Obviously, great guy. I love Demo. I literally can't say a bad thing about him. So this is easy. I hear he's a big analytics guy. I think Belichick's he's probably on Belichick's radar for staff at UNC. But no, love him. He's got a great team. He's always in there. Always competitive. But looking forward to competing against them this week, and hoping that Lamar doesn't go for 50. But No, I can't say a bad thing about Demo.
Nice. That was very sweet of you. Very sweet. All right, man. So look, a couple, a big deal in your life, new house, moving in. If you got a chance to get back and get that trophy, man, have you picked out a spot in the new crib for where it's going to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, I'm actually having them build a shrine,
Oh,
just in advance of hopefully the future championship. So I've actually, yeah, the detached garage that I actually had them add to the house is not for anything other than future trophies. So, yeah, no, looking forward to getting in there.
that's exciting.
Hopefully late February, early March. We'll see.
Okay, awesome, man. Well, good deal. So this is kind of your floor here. Is there any new rules that you would like to propose?
You've got them all. They're already in review, I believe. Some changes I'd like to see made, maybe the way we do things with the trading at the deadline. But I've literally everything I say I put it in the group chat anyway. So
Oh yeah.
I'm an open book in that regard. So literally I shared the receipts in there. So no, nothing new that hasn't already been shared.
I got you. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. All right. Superstitions, man. Is there anything on a football Sunday that you got to do? I got to feel right, to feel like everything's going to go your way on Sunday. Is there anything that you got to specifically do?
No, I mean I like to see the countdown. I like the last 10 seconds of red zone before it goes off, so I can hear Scott Hansen's beautiful voice welcome us in. But honestly, no, like nothing leading up to that. I will say the one weird thing I do, that's just superstitious, it's just a weird thing, is like I refuse to check the app until I know my team's in a good spot. In terms of points, I'll look at Score Mobile and I'll look at the stats in Score Mobile before I open the ESPN app. I don't like to see it. I don't want to look at it. I'm telling you, it's weird. Ted actually said he does the same thing when I was talking to him, so it's not just me. But yeah, no, that's probably the one weird thing I do. It's just I try to avoid looking at the app unless I know my team's actually like killing
Well,
it and doing well. Yeah, like I looked at it a bunch against Trip. It's just, yeah. But typically, no, it's not that case.
okay. All right. That's a little quirk. Okay. I
Little
got
quirk.
you. Little quirk. All right, food, man. Food. It's a big deal these days. What are you going to be eating on Sunday? Talk to us a little bit about the menu. What's going to get you over the hump?
I kept it to myself last week. I mean, I didn't send a pic, but I had Bojangles last Sunday morning. It was definitely the difference maker. Those the 9 points that got me over the hump was definitely was it the Cajun filet biscuit with cheese? That's what did it for me.
Classic.
With the bow rounds. Yeah, so probably do the same Sunday morning. Maybe a little wing stop for lunch with it's the sponsor of the playoffs and the ESPN app. So might do a little wing stop, a little lemon pepper, something like that, to really get it going. So we'll see.
All right. All right. Sounds like the belly will be right.
Yes, bathroom won't.
The bathroom won't be all right, but the belly will be all right. Well, man, congrats again on getting here. Final Four, like I said, seventh Final Four, the most out of anybody in the Final Four this year. So, no stranger to it. You felt the pressure, you felt the heat. You're probably used to it at this point. So, good luck. And we'll move on to Big House, J House. You guys got anything?
You got anything, Justin, or you want? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where to start?
Don't worry. It's
It's supposed to be
Call
The
back to the
first-
rookie draft.
I guess the first question, Zach. So I haven't talked to you a whole lot recently. How's the new job treating you?
it's new job's basically the old job. It's pretty much the same shit, just different company name, honestly. But it's been good. Went to Arizona, a couple weekends ago, with Dia. So got a little golf in and hung out there. So no, it's been good. Got a bunch of old people that I used to work with. I've brought with me. So a bunch of familiar faces that jump ship.
Nice. Cool. Second up, how on a scale of, I'm gonna have a lot of scale questions for you. So on a scale of
Yeah.
1 to 10, how much of a letdown is Belichick gonna be next year?
I don't think he's already a win, regardless. Like in my opinion, the hype around it, already the movement we're seeing. He's already living rent free in y'all the state fans' heads. I can already tell. So no, I am all in on Bill Belichick. Couldn't be more like in on it. So
This
no, there's
sounds-
really not a letdown because basically like we're coming off a terrible season. So I think we win 6, 7, let's say we 7, 8 games next year. And I think that's a win to start, but what he's about to do, in my opinion, is going to be incredible for Carolina football. The investment alone that he was able to pull out of them, $20 million in NIL, is only
Yeah.
gonna
Where the hell did that come from is what I was wondering.
a bunch of alumni that decided to get some deep pockets and go into them.
All right.
Finally.
Just weather the storm, because it happened here with Coach Prime. Just be ready if they don't go undefeated next year.
And
all
pull
the
right out.
all of the Wolfpackers and Pirates and everybody, Blue Devils, are gonna come out, and it might take
Yeah.
2 years to win 8 games, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good long-term
I mean,
thing.
they've already had a bunch of guys that have decided to stay,
So
enter the transfer portal. So I think they're gonna. I don't know if they get Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning. Oh boy, I will be fucking 30 legs in. That's how
So
deep I'll be into it. Big
my
house.
brother-in-law knows Steve Belichick personally, and he said he's a hell of a recruiter.
Yeah, if he can get that defense over to Carolina, then I'll be just fine.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think I'm jealous. I think they're going in the right direction as
Yeah.
much as it pains me to say that.
Yeah. Aside from him, just the money alone. That's
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the money speaks a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice question. Scale of 1 to 10. How mad are you with me about missing golf from last year still?
I'm over that now. That's in the past. I'm in the Final Four, Brandon. I don't really, think about those things anymore.
Hmm.
At the time, yes, I was very, very much upset, as I think most of us on this call were. It would have been a 10 if you had asked me this back in September still. But like I said, I'm a game away from the championship, Brandon. These types of things don't cross my mind these days. So it's a 0. This is 0 on your scale.
Okay, thank you. All right, who in the Final Four least deserves to be there, other than you, and why?
Least deserves to be there. It would be me probably. But I'm not going to tell it myself. I'll go the easy route. I'll say Demo just because of his tight end tactics. But no, his team's still good. But that's the easy pickings for me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's about all I got. I don't know that I can pull myself to congratulate you, but yes, you're here again. Job well done, Zach.
Yeah, we didn't pull up the stats, Big House, but if you actually look at the historical stats on you and I's matchups, I'm 15-1 versus you historically. So I appreciate the
He was
questions
waiting for
from
this.
you.
In
I'll
games
look
that-
forward
in
to him
games
again
that
next
matter.
year.
In
He's
games that
been
matter.
eyeing that stat for the last 2
It
weeks.
pops up on it literally pops up on my ESPN history app. Like it's like the worst person against me is Big House. It's like, wow, this is incredible.
First person.
Worse. That's literally how it describes you.
Sorry, I apologize. It's 14-1, not 15-1. Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always next year though. It's always next year.
AI is a hell of a thing.
Oh, have mercy. Jay House, you got anything?
I'm curious what kind of sister-in-law drama are we looking forward to with respect to the Christmas games, Christmas times? What we got going on this year?
It can't get more drama than what's happened over the past since Sunday when I dropped that news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get any actually because they're going to be out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, no, nothing, no
No-
drama.
no
other
new
than
no
just,
new
like,
wrinkles in there.
Soon, I'm sure it's to be continued. There will be some, but it's just wild
They'll
time
they'll,
over here.
they'll
Wild
drop it
time.
on. They'll drop it on you. Don't
Yeah.
worry, it's coming.
They'll keep you on your toes. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I had some of the similar questions as Brandon actually, so I'm not gonna reiterate
Yeah.
those. But congrats. Good luck, and yeah, I hope that new room in the new crib is ready for it.
I hope so. I hope so. But it's gonna be a tough one. 4 good teams, three, and myself.
What's the closing date for the new house or
Um,
finish?
yeah, it's tentative. It's they said end of February or probably early March. So just weather
Gotcha.
dependent, which I don't really understand because there's a roof with shingles on it. So like, I don't
Yeah,
really know what the weather dependency means other than like concrete being poured. But I mean, come on,
cool deal. All right, man. Good luck.
appreciate it.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up Zach's portion of the interviews. Again, good luck, man. Look forward to watching y'all's matchup this week. I know it's going to be a good one. I'm sure whoever wins will definitely earn that spot in the championship. And so we will move on to last but not least, Demo. He's been waiting patiently down there. I've seen him jotting down notes. He's ready to roll. I'm gonna stat dump real quick. But first, I want to say welcome to the Final Four again. This is your third Final Four. Mostly recently. It's all happened kind of the last 4 or 5 years for you. You kind of figuring out the lay of the land and getting it right with your team. This is your 5th overall playoff appearance. You've got 5 playoff wins counting last week, where you defeated Derek, the number 1 seed overall in the first round. So hats off to you for getting that done. You're coming in with 1,741 points through 15 weeks, and that works out to be, I'm sure you check my math on this, but that'd be 116.1 points per game. I said the stat earlier, you're 7-3 versus Zach. So I think if Vegas had to set a line on it, no matter what it is, coaching matchup wise, I believe you'd have the advantage there. You were second in the champs division, which is a strong division in my opinion. So coming in second there is no joke. You're 1-0 against Zach in the playoffs 2021, and your point differential this year is 101.8. You're plus 101.8. So again, all you guys kind of right around that 100 mark as far as point differential, which means your schedules were tough and you had to play tough matchups to get where you're at. You've got a ring a couple years ago, and so you're back now and putting yourself in position to get that second one. Talk to us a little bit, man. How's it feel? Again, welcome, and kind of tell us how you got here.
Yeah, so I mean, I came into the draft thinking I had the worst situation out of everybody. I obviously run numbers, run my data, and honestly, I thought my team this year was going to have a down year. Made the trade with you to keep some keepers that I knew were low to mid tier keepers. I drafted as well as I could, I think, but I still had. I mean, my expectations leaving the draft, like Zach said, like I felt like I drafted good, but I went in a really shitty situation, so I didn't have high expectations of the year. Kind of just floated through the year. My team's been really consistent. My average is 117. I bet I'm probably within 10 points of that. 9 out of 10 weeks. So I think that's helped me a lot. The consistency, mainly due to Lamar. But I kind of just floated through the year, kind of like Zach said. I was borderline, like, do I sell off? Do I buy? And I was so like wishy-washy. I just did nothing, and it kind of worked out for me up to this point, at least, because I really didn't want to buy looking at the trips of the league, and Ruffin sometimes scoring 170, 180 points. So I don't know. I felt like I've kind of just like floated through the year. I've kind of snuck into the playoffs, even though I was, number 2 in the champs division. Points wise, my team hadn't been impressive. But I think the main thing is they've just been consistent. And I think that's what got me here, and hopefully I can stay consistent. But making it to the championship again would be awesome. I know it's a tough feat to get there. Look around the league and see the people that have like Zach and Field to put up awesome teams every year in UJA, and it's a hard thing to win, right? I think between the three I just mentioned, y'all have 2 ships, and like I don't take that lightly. Y'all put in a bunch of years and a bunch of good teams, and it's just hard to win championship. But that's where I'm at going into the Final Four matchup.
All right. Awesome, man. Yeah. The draft, I remember thinking back, looking at my team, Lamar, I want to say you were close to the end of your max amount, and I was right there with you. And I kind of had to make a decision. Do I want to go after him again or not? And I bailed out, and it's worked out for you. And that's a big regret of mine. He's been awesome.
I knew
awesome again.
Yeah, I had $1 left, and you could have pushed me over it.
Yep. Yeah, that was a regret of mine walking out of the draft for sure, man. But great season. I think consistency. If I had to put a word to your team, that's definitely it. I think every time I check the scores on Tuesday mornings before I send out the the kind of league manager note, little update synopsis of the week, it's always like, okay, well, he's got a top 7 or he's right around top 7, and he won his matchup, because he's scored the same amount of points as he did last week. And that matters. That matters. Consistency matters. I know, because I can score 200 or 80, and that's tough. But so looking at your team this week, you do have a tough opponent. As far as projections go, just looking at it, what do you feel like on your team is a matchup, like a key matchup, your favorite matchup? What do you feel like is gonna be kind of the deciding factor this week?
The key matchup, which I think is my least favorite matchup, is Lamar versus the Steelers. I think that's been his worst week by far. I think he had 16 fantasy points first go around with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Have his number. I think it's honestly, like, as much as people talked about it last, like, I guess week 7, week 8, I don't know when they matched up, but like, I think it's in Lamar's head that the Steelers have his number. And I'm kind of worried about that. As crazy as this sounds, and I'm not going to do it. So, but I honestly, like, there's a piece in the back of my mind that's like, man, do I start Baker this week? Like, it's got me that worried. Honestly considered, I'm not going to do it. That would be like
breaking news.
But I do think the Steelers are a little banged up on defense, or at least I'm hoping they are. I'm hoping they stay that way until Sunday. So that's my key matchup, and Lamar's been the key to my team all year. So that's what it is. But it's my least favorite matchup on my team right now for sure.
Okay, I got you. So 2 years ago, you get it done. Win a championship. You talk about how hard it is to get there, not only get there, but to win it all. Doing it again, within 2 or 3 years, what would that mean to you to get back in there and kind of get another shot at it?
I think most people associate my first title with Cooper Kupp and Tony. So made very limited trades. I did make a trade with Tony this year, but it was irrelevant. But if I here and get the ship, there would be no association with, lopsided trades or anything like that. So that would mean a lot to kind of get a title without a lopsided trade.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. Asterisk free. There's no asterisk in this league. There is none. I'll stand by that, down that hill. But yeah, that would be nice. All right. You've had your bouts. You've had your talks back and forth. The strong period marks at the end of your sentences. I see them. We all see them. But just smashing that button. All right. Anyway. All right. Say one nice thing about your opponent, Zach Woodley.
Well, he kind of, stole everything that I was going to say. First thing that came to mind were throwing partners. And I think it went all the way back to middle school, but definitely high school. And we're all baseball guys. Your throwing partner's your boy.
Oh yeah.
But he's a football guy. He's a competitor. He likes to compete. He gets he's passionate, and sometimes his passion comes out, like it should. And honestly, everything that he said this year, if I hadn't been on the the receiving end of it, I kind of support. So I'm not mad at him by any means. So yeah, no, I have nothing bad to say about Zach. Zach's always been a good friend. He's always a good guy. Can't really say anything bad about him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Way to bury the hatchet, guys. I'm proud of y'all.
I can't.
Right here on Zoom, man. Right here on Zoom. It's awesome.
No, I'm just laughing.
So right now, I think we read the book in just a quick synopsis, real quick. Just walk us through week 14, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it started week 13. So I clinched my playoff spot, right? And I hadn't put too much thought in it, but I clinched, and I hadn't really looked at my lineup yet. So Zach, actually reached out to me maybe Monday. Zach, was it Monday or Tuesday?
It was probably after. No, was it after the first waiver run?
It could have been after the first.
I think it was, because I was like, I noticed you didn't pick up anybody. I was like, what's going on here?
I looked at the the free agents, and nothing jumped out at me, nothing that I wanted, and I considered not at that point not starting a tight end, but hadn't put too much thought into it. Honestly, I think when Zach reached out to me, he was like, "Hey man, you are picking up a tight end, right?" And I was like, "Man, honestly, I don't know yet." But I hadn't made a decision, and I told him, one of the key factors was did I have a chance to win the division? And that's why I reached out to you a little bit later about the tiebreaker rules and what was it, points instead of head-to-head matchup. So I had nothing to play for, but I do respect the league. And I do respect the competitiveness of the league. But just looking at my team's best interests, and I probably will need a tight end this weekend, or I might need a tight end this weekend. So I don't know. I just tried to keep.
Oh no, you don't. You better start Likely. That's your boy. You didn't drop him. You better start him. This is what you kept him for. This is what you didn't drop him for.
Yeah, I tried to keep my team's best interest in mind after the initial thought, because I felt like no matter what I did after that point, if I took in Zach's consideration, then I would be, influencing other teams versus Jason. If I looked at something else, I would be influencing Jason's team. So I know y'all felt like I was, obviously helping Jason out, because I wasn't starting a player against him, but it was really just in terms of my, what I thought was best for my team. So that was my only thought. I don't know. I don't see the controversy in it, but I know
everybody's making such a big deal. No, I think the top 8 teams got in my opinion. So it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. So I got no qualms with it at all. But I think it does bring some questions up for the off season, and we'll talk about those as we get there for sure. Just briefly, you've been real passionate this year about kickers. You have the floor. Talk to me about your kicker hatred and just kind of all your feelings about the kicker's position.
Yeah, I think kickers are just, if we like the randomness of hey, I might get lucky and get the good kicker this week, or might get unlucky and have the bad kicker. If we like the luck factor in our lineups, then kickers are great. But if we think we're a league of hey, the person that puts in the most, effort and thought and drafts the best team and puts up the best lineup, if we want that person to win, then we don't need kickers. I'm hoping that Zach follows me and doesn't start a kicker this week. Zach, go ahead and drop your kicker.
I get nothing from kickers, so I'm not losing anything in my lineup.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a random.
I get more than nothing. I get 5 points, but.
And what about Monday night kickers though?
By the way, Phil, I have not looked at the Green Bay weather Monday night, but I like Monday night kickers.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of kickers. Just I think we need to get rid of them. But that's it.
And they put you in a bad mood.
In bad mood, yeah. There you go.
Oh,
yeah, I might pick up Moody this week. Who knows?
There you go. It all comes full circle.
might all come full
I've
circle.
been with you, Demo. I think I was leading that charge a couple of years ago is when I started. And then Derek mentioned something about the chaos is what makes this league so beautiful.
I mean, and that's
And
yeah.
like I'll take the former versus the latter argument. Like, do we like the randomness? Yeah.
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 And that's it. And it makes it fun in that extent. But I don't know.
Three receivers, a flex, no kicker. There we go.
I love FanDuel. We all
I
know
think
I love FanDuel.
there's definitely been some things that's happened this year that they're valid. Like there's definitely things to talk about and to think about this off season. So no, I always appreciate you guys' input and your thoughts on things, man, and just keep it coming. We're trying to make this thing the best it can be. So whatever that takes and having these things pop up 19 years in, we're still having things kind of come up, and it's insane. It's kind of like Major League Baseball, a new record gets set or something crazy happens every year that kind of makes you think, oh, I didn't think of that, and try to put a Band-Aid on something and try to fix it. So that definitely things that we'll look at in the off season. But no, I appreciate your thoughts there, Demo. I know they come from a good place, and you've definitely thought it out before you said it. So 100%. But yeah, man, congrats again. I'm gonna open it up. Does anybody, and it's not just Big House and J House, if Phil and Ben, Zach, you guys got any questions for Demo, let her rip, man.
Well, I was gonna first say thanks for putting up with our bullshit every year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, sir. No, I was. Is that towards Demo or
Yeah,
Jago?
that's JG, because JG handles it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to deal with like Big House and his fucking shit.
JK, and I was like, JK, I'm sorry I'm putting you through this, man.
No, I
Because
love
it came at a worse time, actually, because it was against Jason. Like, he was my opponent. He's got to deal with this shit. I was like, my bad, dude. I'm sorry.
No, man, it's all good. I love it. I live for it, man. I wouldn't change nothing. So it's all good.
Demo, what kind of shiesty backdoor secret text did you and Ted have on Zach Ertz with him to drop him at 2 a.m.? We never got clarification on this, and you went radio silent after it dropped, so which was pretty incriminating, I will say.
I'm pretty silent all the time, so I don't know if that's incriminating. But no, I just saw him out there and scooped him up, man.
Oh, so incriminating.
There was absolutely nothing shiesty about it. And for the life of me, I have no clue.
Oh man, that's all I need to know.
That would be a question for Ted. I have no clue why he dropped Ertz.
This is the only drop that I remember seeing from Ted at 3 a.m. And then I saw a bunch of them after that. I don't see many before that.
Yeah, he's definitely just trying to play it off.
I'm just
now.
like,
I'm pretty sure I gave him. Did I give him Ertz in the Collar trade, or was that before? I
Yeah,
can't
you
remember.
Ertz at some point.
I gave him Ertz at some point. I can't remember who it was for though.
I woke up, saw that, and immediately said, "Demo's picking him up. This is going to happen. Something happened."
Demo, I forgot to ask you your superstitions, man. Are you a superstitious guy? Do you have anything that you got to do on Sundays before or after the games kind of kick off? Is there something that you like to do to kind of help you get the dub each week?
No, this week Dania's off work. So when she's off work, that means I can watch some football. I don't have the kids by myself. I'm not watching Bluey.
Okay.
If y'all know who Bluey is, yeah, we'll feel Bluey's a good one. You'll like Bluey. But
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
yeah, Bluey's a good one.
Bluey's good. Bluey is good.
Relatively, kind of.
But no, so I'll get to watch some games this Sunday. But I'm kind of like Zach. I try not to check my app, but it's almost not till I see my team scoring. It's when I see my opponent, scoring. When I feel like they've got some points, then I'll look at it and see like, okay, what's that got this week? Like killing me not knowing at some point. So, but I don't I don't have the app open at 1:00 and follow on the app. Usually I'll check the app about halftime of the first round games and kind of see what everybody's got. But no, I don't have any superstitions that I know of.
What you gonna be eating?
Yep. So once again, relates to the kids. If I had to bet on it, probably McDonald's.
Oh, 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 McDonald's versus Bojangles. Uh-oh.
So we eat McDonald's probably 7 times a week.
That's a battle you don't want. McDonald's versus Bojangles. That's an
He
L
says
already.
he says 7 times a week.
We did it for lunch today. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
why that beard looks so luscious, man.
that's
that,
it.
That fry oil, boy.
It was
Yeah,
thick.
that's not an exaggeration.
Demo's
I'm
been getting
sure.
that fillet of fish. That
Well,
fish
if you
oil is
could-
coming out of him.
No,
If you're combining lunch and dinner for
That's
the
that
kids,
fish
that's
oil
not
coming
right.
out in that
fresh
beard.
Yeah.
caught cod, baby.
The McRib's back.
Is it Tuesday?
Hey Phil, I did leave out my superstition though. It's not fantasy related, but every Sunday at 8:42 a.m. I do the Aaron Kate Dolan best bet.
8:42 a.m. Huh?
She's on Sports Center every Sunday at 8:42 a.m. I take her best bet every Sunday, and she has a 69% win ratio. So just remember that.
That's good.
Nice.
Damn.
Hmm.
Nice.
Lamar under 7.5 rush attempts last week. You remember?
Bozo pick.
Anybody got anything for Demo?
Um,
Oh, Jay,
I got you.
You got something?
Yeah. So Demo, we got a few similarities in our lives, personal lives, fantasy lives. Both of our wives are pharmacists. We both got 2 beautiful little girls. I've got 2 chips. You've got 1. Do you believe in destiny? Do you think that you're destined to have that second ring?
well, we do have a trip to Disney World planned for February. So maybe that's the destiny. Another correlation there, and
Yeah.
that might be what I do if I work. It.
Somebody add that to the log.
Yeah, the signs.
Yeah. If it also means that if you do win, you're gonna have another child and another girl.
Are you looking
So,
forward to having a third little girl?
I would be down. I'd be down for a third girl.
Keep
Why
them
not?
coming, baby.
You already
Keep 'em
got
coming.
2.
What do you have 2? Like, what's the difference? Right?
Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly.
Get you a basketball team. Travel the state.
That's it.
Hey, the hand-me-down game is nice though. I will say that we've been utilizing that.
Well, we haven't, so we need to take some notes on that.
I will ship them all to you and get them out of my house, please. But good luck, man. And
Appreciate
No
it.
congrats.
fourth? No fourth?
I might have
Well-
congestive epididymitis
well-
before I have a 4th.
I was gonna say Ben
Dr.
has
Chang.
more future kids Lusty Tank than anybody has ever been aware of. Like, I was thinking about getting it done, and then I hear Ben's art.
Well, I was told it's 1 to 3%, so you're probably safe.
The anti
I don't like probably.
just don't go get no Groupons for your damn doctors.
Did you stop the TikTok shop, Ben?
Y'all don't even want to know what I pay for that ultrasound. God, piss me
Oh.
off.
Mm.
More than your surgery, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was.
That's the problem.
I'm dead serious.
That's the problem.
paid it in fab.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chang took auction. He took Fab and auction books.
I might have to change my team name though if I make it to the championship, so Jason will have to put that on the damn plaque.
Man, there's some tough ones up there already. So
I got some hurdles to get through before that happens anyway, but
no
No,
doubt.
go ahead and write it on the trophy.
Reverse jinx. Oh man. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I'm gonna stop the recording. But I appreciate you guys joining in. It's always I appreciate it. I like doing this, and it's good to see you guys and catch up and talk to you for a little bit. I know it's just fantasy football, but I think it means something, and it's always fun to kind of get your guys' perspective on it and see kind of how your season's gone. I know we talk, as much as we can throughout the year, but it's always fun to hear how you got here and how you kind of went about things. So I appreciate your time. I hope I didn't keep you guys too long. But I'll I'll post this up. It'll be on YouTube if you want to hear it back and run it back. But again, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a blessed evening. Good luck. Good luck. We'll have a chance first chumps championship. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey, everybody's there. Cool. Hey, I have a couple of questions. You
Damn.
Okay. Oh,
He-
all right.
He
Zero thought he
he
was
was
saving
open
for
the
you.
shelving.
Keep the recording going. Okay. Go.
no, you
I
don't
saw
have to keep
that
it. I
face
don't. I
pop
mean,
up there.
that's up to
Hey.
you. I don't care about that.
No,
But
I need this for later on. Okay, go ahead.
so a couple things. One, I have it's only like 4 questions. So what's the craziest name a student has called you, Demo?
Mr. Moore. I mean,
They'll call me Dr. Moore sometimes. I'm like, I'm not a doctor, but man, I don't know.
Do you do vasectomies?
Well, I tell you, so Brandon, to your point, our classes are pretty small, like maybe 25 or 30 would be in my biggest class. And, I feel like, I get to know my students. I try to talk to my students as much as possible, like other outside of math stuff. And it surprised me every year, my students at the end of the year don't know my name. So they don't call me anything because they're like, what's your name again? When they go to fill out my evaluation, they don't know who my name's Mr. Moore. So that could be it, Brandon.
That's fair enough. That speaks volumes. Okay.
No name. Okay.
That happens at our school all the time, Demo. I swear.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you got third period? Oh, what's her name? Yeah. Happens all the time.
Real quick thing. I'm sure you can help me with this. So Max, my oldest, 7 years old, he's super fast. Like he beats most of the kids his age racing. Hudson, my younger one, he runs like me. What advice do you have for him?
Just tell them to run hard, man. I don't know. Just try harder.
Run hard, try harder. All right,
No,
I'll yell that at him next time.
Big
That
House
might-
literally jumped on this call just so he could get information on shit for life and traveling.
Life advice. Come on.
Get him in velocity, man.
Brandon, so do you
Dude,
pretty fast. But y'all
Ben,
probably
did you do velocity?
I didn't get faster, but I did it.
so
I
honestly,
took no, dude, because I played basketball in high school, and our team we did velocity. It shaved half a second off my 60
glad
time. I'm not kidding, and I could like windmill dunk by the end of it. I swear to God, it's incredible. Plyometrics.
Yeah, no, I mean, it helped my strength, but I don't think it helped my speed.
We might be talking about 2 different things. Velocity was like a training facility.
No, yeah, no,
Virginia
I went
Beach.
to it. Yeah,
Same thing.
yeah.
Works. But also just fucking run fast. That's it.
It did work.
Listen, the ball's on Ben. He ain't aerodynamic. Come on.
Weigh him down.
Hey, I'm playing in the Builders Mutual basketball game tomorrow night, though. Let's get it.
All right. So, all right, cool. 2 questions. One, this is a simple one. Who was the worst manager this year in fantasy football?
I'm gonna say somebody that just had an off year. In no way do I think they're the worst manager, but Ted seems to always be in the Final Four, and this year was the first time since I've been in the league, that Ted's had a down year. And I know it happens. I'm not saying he did anything bad, like management moves, but that was a shocker to not have Ted, in this conversation tonight, like he normally is.
Yeah, that's fair, I think. I can agree with that.
Definitely a weird year for him. Yeah.
All right. Last thing. So in Zach's interview, I heard him mention that Ben and Phil had loaded teams, but he didn't mention anything about your team. Care to comment any on that?
No, because I think that is my team. I have a very average team. Like my team is not, I won high points, maybe with 135 points one time, like week 4, I think, week 5, somewhere around there. I don't have a team that's going to put up 170 points. So a lot of my team relies on the other team. It's my consistency and the other team not having a great week, and that's how I've got to where I'm at and I don't think I have. I would agree with Zach that I have the worst team out of the Final Four.
I didn't say
So
that.
you don't take
I
offense
didn't
to
say- I
that?
didn't
Wasn't a
say
shot
that.
against your team. Okay.
You put those words in my mouth.
No, I mean, so Derek sent me a message last week. He said, "Just by the way, I'm not sleeping on your team," which is only something you would say to a team that's like very bad, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Number one
What
team.
what a dick. to send that across the pond is
That's where he
just
lost.
wild.
Oh.
Wow.
He
But no,
reversed jinxed
Like I
himself.
kind of stuck into the Final Four, and this is a bad way to think of it, but I'm hoping I can sneak into the championship.
In case you didn't know, Derek, he called it on like Lamar and McLaurin. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, no, he told me.
I told multiple people.
Told me.
He said it 20 times in the chat. He caught it.
He's at the local bakery just saying Lamar's going to go off this week. Somebody random in line. And he's like, McLaurin, yeah, 2 tutties.
Who would have guessed Lamar Jackson was going to go off? That's wild. God, real good take.
Yeah, Demo, that Baltimore game scares me too, though, because they're historically low scoring against Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm worried about it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo,
All right. Well, I'll wrap that one up. Big House with a 5-question banger right there at the end.
All right. Yeah.
Appreciate it. No, that's awesome, man. No, but again, I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna stop the recording. But good luck again to you all in the Final Four.